Morning. Says we're live. What's up, everyone? Aaron Nagler here with Cheesehead TV, coming to you live on the YouTube channel, Packers Daily Chat. Good to see. We got 40 lost souls here on a Thursday morning, sitting down. Wherever you are, welcome. Thanks for tuning in, making Cheesehead TV part of your Packers routine. The Packers testing. Lots of COVID testing. We're getting a glimpse of the locker room this morning. A couple of the rookies have posted pictures of what looks to be a reconfigured, not redesigned, but definitely made over a bit for COVID-19 protocols locker room. Plexiglass between every locker. Between you and me, I don't know how good that does, but hey, cool. It certainly doesn't socially distance anybody, but every precaution they can take, I'm sure they are taking. Lost Souls is right. What's up, Scotty? How you doing? Bayou Cheesehead, what's up, man? Patriotic Pats fan is here every day to let you guys know he thinks the Packers are going to go 8-8. It's all right. I mean, the Pats have enough guys to field a team. Morning, Pogs. What's up? Jersey Al is here. Oh, my goodness. We're going to have to be on our best behavior. Editor-in-chief of Cheesehead TV, Jersey Al. My goodness, what have we done to deserve this? Morning, Nagler. Have you calmed down? Although I love seeing angry Aaron. I'm always calm, dude. Nagler, Jamal Williams is the GOAT. The GOAT! Big B, you're nothing if not consistent. I'll say that. Morning, Popeye's Beef. What are you doing? Joey the Jaguar is here. Van Halen 1984. That is an outstanding handle. Sterling Sharp is the GOAT. The GOAT! No, I can't do it without saying that. Sly, what's up? Good morning. Happy Thursday to you. What's up, Nags? What's up, Derek? James Ferguson, thanks to the super chat. Any wide receiver with number 19, 6 feet, that comes natural. I totally hear that. I hear you. Some of these guys have a natural distancing built in because of their physicality. Would you rather your quarterback get COVID now or later in the season? Yikes, what a question. I would rather he doesn't get COVID. I'm crazy that way. Katie's birthday is today. Katie, longtime Cheesehead TV follower, listener, viewer, reader. Happy birthday. Thanks for joining us today on your very special day. Could we say that Curly Lambeau was just as good a coach as Lombardi after watching the Legacy documentary? I don't know if I'd go that far. We can certainly say I do think his accomplishments as a coach maybe get diminished a little bit because of the era he was in. A lot of the modern lens we use to look back, a lot of modern sports fans, I don't think give any of those guys their due, really. But I do think Lombardi was uniquely skilled and talented at not only coaching, but teaching. And we've talked about it several times. The best coaches are great teachers. And that's not to take away what Lambeau is able to do, but I don't think it reaches quite the level of Lombardi. That's just my opinion. What's with the whole Bucs practice video? I would love to know. Wouldn't you? It's just interesting that they posted that video last night of, it's time to get to work or whatever. And there's Tom Brady throwing the wide receivers on the field. And I understand that the quarterbacks and the rookies are first in, they've done their testing, etc. Except the rules of the ramp up specifically state that there's not supposed to be any on-field work with footballs until the first week of August. Last I checked, it is July 30th. Not even August. So why are we playing by two different sets of rules? The Raiders, too. The Raiders were on the football field yesterday. I just want, I want a level playing field here. That's all I'm asking for. I don't think that's crazy. Lazard is Samcon Gatto 2.0. I don't know if I agree with your police work there, Doug. What do you look for out of players during camp? I feel like one-on-ones can be misleading if players are trying new things. Daniel, that is 100% correct. And that is why I always take that stuff with a grain of salt. I don't really track one-on-ones as far as wins and losses. Like, at the end of every camp, we get, David Bakhtiari won X amount, or, Za'Darius Smith won X amount. I don't really care, partly because of what you're talking about. Guys are trying new things. Guys are being told or asked by their coaches to use different techniques, on different rushes, etc. It's kind of the same way for most of practice. You try not to get too carried away with any of your analysis, because you as much as you can see things happening and you do kind of have things you can glean, take away, etc. Lots of times practice is set up by coaches because they're looking at certain things, or they want to get certain things out of whatever drill they're doing, if it's a one-on-one, whatever. So it's always an exercise in kind of just tempering expectations. It's hard because after an off season, you haven't had football, and then you're there and you get excited. This year, I think it'll be especially so because we didn't get any off-season work on the field, etc. But all of that said, you can learn stuff and you can see. I remember with J. Rowan Elliott, that first practice of camp when the pads came on, he jumped off the field. And it wasn't a sense of like, oh my gosh, this is the next Reggie White or anything like that. But you could just see he belonged. Undrafted guy who was so quick off the ball, really just turned heads almost every single snap. Those are the kind of things I love about camp, right? It's these guys who, sure, their tape may look good, but everybody's tape looks good in college. Like how do they translate that to an NFL football field? And once those pads come on, training camp starts, you start to get the beginnings of answers to those questions. So that to me, I very much agree with you. You're absolutely right that one-on-ones in and of themselves don't tell you a ton, but they're still fun to watch. No doubt about that. Jack, thanks for the super chat. Jace dunking on that guy yesterday was great. Jace is the man. Jersey Al, what's up, buddy? I was pretty optimistic that Funchess would emerge with Rodgers as his QB. Wait till next year. I tend to agree. I do wonder how often he'll utilize his length, his physicality. Funchess made a living in Carolina with 50-50 balls from Newton. Is Rodgers going to throw those to him? I would love it, but I do wonder how quickly Funchess will be able to earn Rodgers' trust. Everson Griffin using Packers as leverage seems like it. Yeah, that's a good chance that that's the case. No, maybe not. Maybe there's mutual interest there, sincerely. We know the Packers have called, and we know the Packers are interested. But I would suspect, yeah, especially after hearing literally that day before the report came out, Mike Zimmer talking about expecting him back, blah, blah, blah. So, we'll see. Who knows? It'd be a fun addition. I'll tell you that. Woodruff, baby, Brew Crew. What's up, Packy Smurf? Oh, he's an ace. They got an ace. Now, if the rest of the team can just kind of pull it together, if we can get Yelly going, come on, man, Yelly needs to get going. If you had your pick between Everson Griffin, Taylor Gabriel, or Snacks Harrison, who are you taking, Nags? Or would you take somebody completely different? I'd probably still take Snacks. I'm still petrified of their run defense. I'm just being honest. I do wonder how they're going to I think Trayvon Hester is a fine addition, but I still wonder how they're going to be able to stop the run. I know they'll come and go probably like they did last year. They'll have stretches where they kind of shore up, but man, I don't know. Yeah, of those three, I'd probably take Snacks. Nags, why are people bashing players for opting out? Thanks for the super chat, man. It's human nature, and people are awful. Some people are awful, and they're ill-informed. Generally, that's why. I've said it on the chat on Monday. I have no problem with any guy opting out of the season at all. Zero issue with it. It's a right they have been afforded thanks to their union that negotiated that ability. More power to them. I look at the roster and I see a plethora of pass catchers. Not sure about the angst. Matt, I completely agree. I have seen we have seen the resurgence of the "I don't have any wide receivers" faction of Twitter. And look, I would encourage everybody to take a look at the video that Chris Sims posted this morning of his conversation with Kyle Shanahan, where Shanahan talks about personnel fungibility and having 5 eligibles on passing plays and what that means as far as being able to mix and match personnel, etc. It's all about having the talent across the spectrum of your offense. It doesn't have to be at one position. They got guys who can catch at running back. They got guys who can catch at tight end. And they got guys, believe it or not, who can catch the ball at the wide receiver position. And that's why I kept saying last year, they have all the talent on hand that they need to win a lot of games. And they did. And they still do. So this alarm bell every time anything happens at the wide receivers position is kind of silly to me. Santiago, thanks for the super chat. How confident would you be if 12 is positive week 1? A lot going on there, Santiago. Can we get to Friday first? I mean, how confident would I be? Does that mean Tim Boyle is the starter? Not very confident. Is Jordan Love the starter? I think it'd be a lot of fun, but I'm not very confident they're going to win a lot of games. How's that? That's a lot of what ifs. Do you feel, Walter, thanks for the super chat, do you feel Rodgers is low-key not liking that we are transitioning to, if not already a a lot going on here, centric and physical offense? Do I feel Rodgers is low-key not liking it? No, I think Rodgers is fine with it. He's getting paid. He's still playing at a high level. He really likes the guys he's playing with. It's hard for him to sit there with any kind of credibility and think maybe, oh gosh, I'm not really a fan of this, when he was a petulant child when it came to Mike McCarthy the last few years. He ran Mike out of town. He wanted a new coach. Well, here's your new coach, new offensive system. And again, I don't think Rodgers is thinking that. But if that were to cross his mind, I would politely point that out. James, thanks for the super chat. Do you think the season's Super Bowl championship will be looked back on in a lesser or greater light, given opt-outs, possible short season, etc., or for overcoming all? James, it's funny you mentioned that because I had this conversation on the radio a couple days ago, and I very much think it's the latter. I think whoever wins it, obviously it's a huge accomplishment, etc. I do think throughout the ages, the rest of our lives, fans of rival teams, for whoever wins, will undoubtedly try to put an asterisk on it. Of course, that's fandom, right? But traversing through a pandemic to go win a Super Bowl, whoever does it, is pretty damn impressive, to my mind. I mean, forget guys who are opting out, etc., blah, blah, blah. Coaches, you already hear them talking about the fact that we've just got it's just another challenge, right? Like they've already normalized it, which is madness, but also amazing. It's just, we got to go win football games. Football coaches are programmed. They're just wired differently. So to me, it certainly doesn't diminish the accomplishment. It shouldn't anyway. AM, finally made it. Been dealing with shaking ground here. Literally 4 quakes. I saw this morning there was a quake, man. Hope you're safe. Stay safe. Thanks for joining us. Do you think there will be players testing positive throughout the season, or after they get on track with protocols, they will be okay? That's a good question, Martin. I would be shocked if we don't see positive tests throughout the year. I know we've watched, MLS, NBA, these bubble leagues have done a really good job with minimal, having no positives, but clearly the NFL doesn't operate that way, isn't going to operate that way. It'd be incredibly naive to think they're going to get through a season without some positives along the way. Now, will they have an outbreak like the Marlins had? God, I hope not. But we are very much in a one day at a time world at this point. I mean, most years I'd be in Green Bay right now and camp would have started and they'd be on the field and blah, blah, blah. I haven't even booked my travel for Green Bay yet because who knows? There could be an outbreak tomorrow and all of a sudden the league starts shifting things again. I mean, that's just the environment we're in. So, as far as will guys, I'd be absolutely shocked if there's not some positive tests along the way. Not just, I'm not talking just Packers. I'm talking league wide. I just think it's kind of impossible. I can't wait to watch AJ Dillon. Absolutely. Dan, what additional measures can the NFL put in place to reduce/prevent COVID? I mean, they have done a pretty damn amazing job as far as implementing protocols and testing at the sites. We saw, if you did read Peter King's column about what the Vikings have done at their facility, we've started to see a little look at what the Packers have done at Lambeau. But hey, hats off to everybody with the NFL, with the Packers. They are certainly doing everything they can within the nature of their business, right? I mean, once these guys get on the field, it's going to be really interesting. But, at some point, football's got to be played, and there's not much you can do once that happens. But just within the facilities, what they've done as far as testing and protocols, I think they're doing all they can. Of course, there will be positive tests, and most will recover and be just fine. I mean, probably, but we've found out again and again and again, this virus affects everybody differently. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. That's pretty simple. Have you ever heard of an NFL bubble proposal? Not per se, like not how the NBA is doing it. I know people have joked about Football Island, things like that. I did think Robert Klemko had a really good idea that he put out on Twitter yesterday as far as having regional tournaments, or a big tournament that's held regionally, don't start until December, and then it's a one and done, and then you just play X number of football games until you get down to a championship. Now, obviously, that'll never happen, but that could have been a way they could have gone about it, where teams aren't traveling any further than their kind of local, against their local rivals, etc. But way too much money to be made for them to do something like that. Would they carry on a season of a third of the players opted out instead of playing with replacement players? Wow, that's a big what if. I tend to think they'd probably just keep going. Lord knows there's guys lining up to play in the NFL. As Elliot Wolf got in trouble for tweeting years ago, when it was all about head trauma and concussions, and there was all this talk about the death of the NFL and how football was a dying sport, etc. Elliot tweeted out and then later deleted. I can show you tryout tapes, guys lining up, dying to, that's a poor choice of words, but whose dream is to play in the NFL and nothing's ever going to stop them. And he's right, So yeah, if a ton of guys opted out, I have zero doubt there's a lot of guys who played in the XFL, played, these other leagues, who would gladly line up, put on those uniforms. That'd be a great movie, Murder Ball. Oh no. Duke, what's up? Good morning. Nagler, I met you 1 year ago today. What's up, Big B? Big B, our current reigning Twitter trivia champion. Come on now. Hey, by the way, guys, tonight, 5:30 Eastern, final trivia of the offseason. Live trivia right here on the YouTube channel, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Fascinating stuff from Shanahan. Duke, yes. That's. I just mentioned the chat he had with Chris Sims. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend checking it out. It's really good stuff as far as the illusion of complexity, as LaFleur likes to call it. And obviously LaFleur, Shanahan are very tight. Everything Shanahan is talking about is what LaFleur is trying to accomplish in Green Bay. Absolutely. Nagler, Aaron Jones is the GOAT. I'm not getting it. You guys, whoever the GOAT is for you, that is the GOAT. That's fine. Like, we all have our GOATs. Whoever your GOAT is, I'm good with. Oh, Duke, yeah. LaFleur, that's everything Shanahan's talking about is exactly what LaFleur is trying to do in Green Bay. No doubt about it. Is Za'Darius in the clear for a suspension? 4th of July suspension weekend came and passed. Spencer, that is an excellent question. I want to say yes, but you never can know with the league. Those, Well, it is going to be asked. I have zero doubt about that once we get these initial availabilities, which I'm waiting on the Packers for. But it seems like it, but we'll see. Josh Jackson is the GOAT. The GOAT! Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. All right, I got to go. I can't thank you guys enough for hanging out, talking some Packers. Please hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. I'll see you guys at trivia. Have a great day. Go Pack, go.